habits. Hey, hello everyone. My name is Dr. Kole-James, pharmacist and founder of Fun on the Farm. Hello, welcome back to day 25 of our 30-day September challenge for mastering positive change in our health, ourself, and our relationships. Today, it's all about drugs used to get more sleep and stress less. If you have not picked up a copy of my book, The 5S Habits to Start Today That'll Keep Your Ticker Ticking, that's 2 of the habits that I talk about in my book. So make sure you pick up a copy of that. We're streaming live. So thank you for joining me this evening. We are using this software called Wirecast to stream live to my Facebook page, Fun on the Farm, and my YouTube channel, Dr. Uchenna Kole-James. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you're missing out. Go ahead, subscribe, tell your friends so you can get immediate updates on great health information as soon as we release a video. Also, put your name and email in the link below and download the study guide so you can follow along with us on this wonderful journey for mastering positive change in our health. That was all about week 1, ourself, week 2, and our relationships, week 3. We made it to week 4. We are on week 4. Make sure you put your questions down below and comments in the links so I can see what you're talking about. If you have any questions on any of the topics that we have discussed, my friends on the farm, in week 4, it's all about summaries of what we've talked about in the first 3 weeks. Yesterday we talked about the importance of stressing less. Today, we're talking about the importance of getting more sleep and how that helps us to decrease the stress in our life. We learned that stress increases cortisol levels. So high levels of stress, you get high levels of cortisol. When those levels of stress are sustained, that keeps your cortisol levels high, which causes weight gain in addition to many other health conditions, cardiac issues, depression. So we want to find ways to decrease the stress in our life. And one of the ways to decrease the cortisol levels is to get more sleep. The National Sleep Foundation came out with a study that says if you get less than 6 hours of sleep every single night, you increase your heart rate, increase your blood pressure, and that causes obviously hypertension and increase your risk of stroke, my friends on the farm. You need to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. And that getting more sleep also helps us decrease the stress in our lives because our bodies are rejuvenated. We have more energy throughout the day, so we're able to deal and cope better for the different issues, the different life's onslaughts that are thrown at us throughout the day. Let's see who's joined us this evening. Hey Stephanie, how you doing? Thanks for being here this evening, and thank you to everyone. Stephanie, you've been here since day 1. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Kashan, Brother Chu, Cousin Juliet, Dr. Juliet. Thank you for being here this entire journey. And to everybody else, if I missed you, I'm sorry. You know, I have a lag here on my stream, so I might not see everyone who posts a question. If you post a question and I don't get to it during our session, please email me your question at www.funonthefarm.com. Just click on my email, put your email, and I'll make sure I'll address it during our next session. I'm using the software Wirecast. It allows me to put all these lower thirds. It's actually pretty cool when it's working 100% of the time. It's just my background's pharmacy, so I'm learning this, and we're going to talk about that later on in the week, the importance of skill development. I knew that I wanted to stream to both my Facebook page and also build up my video arsenal in YouTube. So I said, why don't we do it twice? So how do we do it at the same time, simultaneously? So how do we do that? Research the software Wirecast, and it allows us to do that. So it's like I'm talking almost into like a mirror. I have to make sure I look at the video, my webcam, instead of the screen, because then it looks like I'm looking at your forehead. So I have to keep reminding myself, but the software is pretty awesome. I can do these lower thirds. I can put these pictures. Here's a copy of the front cover of my book, The 5S Habits to Start Today That'll Keep Your Ticker Ticking. And here are the 5 habits that we've talked about. First habit number 1, exercise. We talked about that week 1. Sleep more. We're going to talk about that today. Stress less, salt less. And number 5, stop smoking, get more sex. And if you missed week 3, it was all about how to get more sex and the importance of supplementation. So if you don't have a copy of my book, make sure you go to my website, get your copy today. I'd appreciate it. So, stress. Stress is basically when we have a more demand on our bodies in our lives than we can supply. So we feel stressed out. Stress is when the demand on us is more than the supply we can provide. And women and men handle stress differently. Women tend to stress more from work, family, health issues. Men tend to stress more from work. And the way we deal with the stressors are different as well, according to the American Psychological Foundation, the American Psychological Association, government funded association. So women tend to deal with stress by sleeping or reading or spending time with family. Men tend to deal with stress by physical activity. And women, the natural caretakers we are, sometimes this ends up affecting us physically, meaning decreasing how much exercise we get every single day. And don't forget to get your exercise. We start off from week 1, 10 minutes a day, my friends on the farm. I want to know how everybody's doing. If you've been here since week 1, how are you doing on your 10 minutes of exercise every day? Be honest. I'll be honest with you. I got on the scale. Oh, I said I wasn't going to show this number again. And that's how my number's been. And I tried to exercise 10 minutes a day, and I was going to the gym pretty faithfully there. And then, you know, when you fall off because of life and your daily habits as far as your eating, and I wasn't eating fast food. I did slip a couple times getting that 5 Guys, but my weight is pretty much fluctuating around that same number. I lost 3 pounds and I gained 1 pound back. I'm just being honest with you guys. I know it's not easy, and this is my struggles. This is my struggle. I haven't been that weight since I had a baby in me. So it's definitely not my ideal weight. If you guys are, be honest. What do you think? Have you been losing weight? Have you been getting your exercise 10 minutes a day? How is your diet? I want to know. Put that in my link below. Let's see who's here. All right, Brother Chu, Chi-Chi, hey Veronica, hey Emmanuel. Hey you guys, thank you for joining me this evening. So, stress. When you don't get enough sleep, you become more stressed, and your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up. And when you don't get that sustained time of rejuvenation, 6 to 8 hours, that causes health condition, that causes health issues, especially heart problems. That's why it's important to get enough sleep, adequate sleep throughout the day. And I had a question yesterday, and I apologize, Marie, you left me a question yesterday about what medications to take if you can't fall asleep, or if there's many over-the-counter medications, over-the-counter drugs that you can take to get more sleep. So I apologize, Marie. So there's 2. I'm going to talk about 2 over-the-counter medications that you can use to get more sleep. The first one is diphenhydramine. That's also in the Z-Quil, your Benadryl, and your Z-Quil, your Benadryl, and your Simply Sleep. So this is diphenhydramine. The nighttime dose is normally 25 milligrams to 50 milligrams. And diphenhydramine is also what's in the allergy medications because it works. It was created as an antihistamine. So it's a first generation antihistamine. It was used to decrease symptoms such as itchy, watery eyes, sneezing, runny nose. And they realized the side effect was drowsiness. And so it works also. It's a great sleep medication as well. Usually in the higher doses of 50 milligrams, you're of course talk to your prescriber before starting any new medication regimen, because every drug that you take produces an effect, and that's how they were able to trademark the diphenhydramine for sleep medications. It was originally created for allergies. All drugs produce an effect, a desired effect, or a side effect. Just so happens that the side effect that the diphenhydramine produced could also be used for sleep. So don't take diphenhydramine if you're a male and you have prostate issues, because this can make your prostate issues worse, actually cause blockage. That's why it's important to talk to your prescriber before starting any new medication regimen, especially over the counter, because it's easily accessible, right? You don't need a prescription. So we just go out there, we pick up our bottle because we're not sleeping and we expect it to make us fall asleep, which it will, but it also can cause other side effects. If you have glaucoma, don't take diphenhydramine, because that can make your glaucoma even worse. So make sure you talk to your doctor about starting any new drug, any new medication. And of course, you can schedule your RX Power Hour with me. And this is a complete review of all your medications, comprehensive, check for drug interactions, making sure there's no medications that are interacting with one another. We create an action plan, a personal medication template that you can take with you to your doctor's office, and your doctors always want you to have your personal medication record with you, so they know what you're taking. And it's important to include all vitamins, minerals, supplements, eye drops, inhalers, oh my, everything that you're taking. Okay, so that's diphenhydramine. Another over-the-counter sleep medication that's commonly used that I see by working in retail that people normally ask me questions about is melatonin. And melatonin is a hormone actually that's produced naturally in our body, but it's available over the counter as a supplement. You can get it in 1 milligram to 10 milligram dose. And what's good about melatonin is because it doesn't give you, well, it's not supposed to, higher doses can, but it doesn't usually give you that hangover effect that sometimes Benadryl will give you, Benadryl or diphenhydramine. So if you take diphenhydramine, sometimes you're still drowsy when you wake up, and melatonin is not supposed to, usually doesn't give you that hangover effect. Also for diphenhydramine, if you're an elderly, it can increase your risk of falling because it causes drowsiness. So usually take it 30 minutes to 1 hour before going to bed. Don't try and take it and then drive somewhere real quick, because especially if you're unfamiliar with the effects. There's a warning label on the bottle that says do not operate any heavy machinery or drive while on this medication because of sedation. It causes drowsiness. It's a sleep medication. So you just want to be careful for that. As far as melatonin, the dose is 1 milligram to 10 milligrams, and it's usually you can take it up to 4 hours before you need to go to sleep. What's good about melatonin is, let's say you have a flight, it can be taken during the day, and that allow you to sleep and, get some sleep on your flight. I think I usually take Benadryl. I'm actually catching a flight Wednesday morning, and Benadryl works for me. I take Benadryl, I sleep on my plane. I actually got some work to do on this trip, but that's what I usually take, and it's over the counter. Make sure you talk to your prescriber, of course. So yeah, getting more sleep helps to decrease your stress in your body. So we talked about what cause some stressors, and I talk about more stress relieving drugs, especially your benzodiazepines. I'm sure you guys heard of like Valium and Xanax. I'm going to save that for my course in October, but there's been an increased controversy with these drugs because of they're called the killer combo, and they're being abused and taken with opioids and also alcohol. And the street name is called killer combo. And we're not talking about Killer Mike or those killer pair of shoes. We're talking about killer like Prince and killer like Michael Jackson. It's very important to understand that this combination, opioids, benzodiazepines, alcohol, are very deadly. You think that you're taking, you might feel a little bit of euphoria, so you want to take it again, but that next dose could kill you. So it's very important to understand these are man-made drugs. They are made in the laboratory to do specific things like benzodiazepines to relieve your stress, to maybe even for seizures, to help you sleep, for anti-anxiety, opioids for pain relief, alcohol, depressant, whatever. Taken together, however, they have the drug interactions, increased drowsiness, increased respiratory depression, and that's how you get yourself into trouble. if you have any issues with substance abuse or addiction, make sure you contact your prescriber. You can always schedule your RX Power Hour with me. I will be happy to go over all your medications, and it's covered under Medicare and Medicaid. Also, contact your substance abuse line or your counselor. I actually have some information on my website, some 1-800 numbers, and what you could do to get more help. You are not alone. Many people have substance abuse issues. So, especially with the increasing controversy with opioids, make sure you get some help. Okay? All that information is on my website, www.funonthefarm.com. Here we go. Yes, and you can schedule your RX Power Hour through my site as well. Let's see who has some questions. Okay. Juliet, Dr. Juliet, she said she fell off after week 1, but you started back last weekend. And that's the key. You started back. And I mean, you know, life stresses. I'm sure you're in the hospital a lot. Sometimes we don't consider exercise a priority, but the key is exercise is something that we have to prioritize so we can make sure that we keep ourselves first. And that's a way of keeping ourselves first, because, you know, when we exercise consistently, we get more exercise. We lose weight, we get more energy, and then we feel healthier. And then we're looking at the, you know, the fast food's like, I don't want to eat that. You know, I'm in shape, all this hard work that I've done. I don't want to eat those kind of foods anymore. So that's why it's important to establish a strong exercise regimen. And I was just making a suggestion, 10 minutes a day, just to get it as a habit. A routine done day after day becomes an habit. Thank you for leaving that comment, Juliet. Okay. Okay, so what do I think about melatonin? Melatonin has a very good safety profile. Pregnant women can't take it, and also if you have an autoimmune issue, you can't take it, you know, because the hormone, it has issues as far as if you have like a lupus or rheumatoid arthritis. So melatonin, it's safe as far as, of course, talk to your prescriber, because it produces a side effect, but it has a very good safety profile. And I know even some parents who, you know, like preschool, kindergarten, who kids still take naps during the day, and they don't want to take a nap, and come 3-4 o'clock, they're ready to claw their eyes out. So I've had parents who have asked me, or they make suggestions like, you know what, I give Timothy one milligram. Actually, they cut it in half, so it's a 0.5 milligram dose of the melatonin, and it helps their child sleep during nap time. And they do that, you know, every day, and the child is able to sleep, and they're not, you know, so hyped up at the end of the day. So melatonin has a really good safety profile, and people love it. It's bigger overseas, like in Europe, than it is in America, because we are so used to, you know, taking the Ambiens, which is the controlled substance often used for sleep as well. I didn't talk about that much, but the diphenhydramine. So melatonin is not used as much in the US, but it's really big in Europe. Great question. Thank you. So let's see. Hey, Jetta. Hey, Angelo. How you doing? Thanks for joining. Okay, let's see. Oops. Okay. Let's see. So the question is, what other technologies am I using? So, as far as to stream these live, I'm using the Wirecast software. I have some music playing in the background. So every shot that I have, every time I post like a new shot, like these are different shots that I have to import just through different graphic software that I have. I know I had some Audacity that's used for video edits. I'm not doing any edits right now, but this is a shot that I showed yesterday about how poor medication adherence kills 125,000 Americans every year and costs the health system $300 billion a year. That's why it's so important to decrease the stressors in our life, my friends on the farm. Not only because it's hard enough dealing with everything that we have to deal with, but when you deal with it when you're stressed out, it just makes everything else so much more challenging. That's why it's important to have coping mechanisms. Excuse me. Sorry. That's why it's important to have coping mechanisms, because you deal with a lot. And that's important. Another importance of celebrating the wins. That's why every single week on your calendar, you should have ways to celebrate everything challenging that you've done that week. You deserve to feel better about yourself. You deserve to pat yourself on the back and say, Uchenna, you're the shit. Of course, feel free to use your own name. But decreasing stressors in your life is critical to you living your best life. You can't live your best life if you're stressed, you feel overwhelmed, you feel that the demand is more than you can give. And that's why we've been here for the past 30 days of mastering positive change in our health, ourselves, and our relationships. We talked about the need to get more support. And that's one of my favorite days, day 20, just because when you get more support, you realize how good it feels and how much more, well, you just have more time for you and to really get things done to help you move your needle. Instead of chasing after those tasks that are important, but not important to moving you forward and gaining growth in your life. You know, yes, keeping the kitchen floor clean is important, but is it going to help you grow? Outsource that. Find your Martha. Have Martha clean your kitchen floors while you're working. So decreasing the stressors in your life is critical to you living your best life. So if you did not watch week 3, if you didn't watch any of the videos, just go through one day and watch all the videos, day 1 through day 20. And we rated ourselves. We rated ourselves in the beginning of this journey as far as the areas in our health, ourself, and our relationships. And we pledged that we were going to increase our score by 2 points. And I hope I've been able to provide you some value thus far. I hope that I've been able to just give you some tools that you may have been looking for throughout your times here, throughout maybe work. And I'm hoping that I'm providing something unique and something that's practical that you can use to live your best life. So thank you everybody for joining. Make sure you put your name and email in the link. Download the study guide so you can follow along for the next 4 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days. 5 more days. But I'm not going anywhere. I will be here with you, just not every night at 9:30 for free, but I will be here with you every week. You know, streaming, talking about something great, talking about some type of health information, some type of personal development information, give you some tools on some marketing. As I learn, I want to teach you and share my best practices because that's what helps me retain it and hopefully can help you out as well. Okay, so let's see. You're gonna start with 5 minutes. All right, Kishan, start with 5 minutes right now. Start 5 minutes. 5 minutes worth of jumping jacks. That's all you need. And then you'll be pooped and ready to go to bed on time. Okay, Stephanie, you said you've only walked once during the challenge. Ah, Stephanie, my friend on the farm. Let's start. Let's just start. And it's not something that we need to go to the gym. Let's use what we have. If you're, let's say you might be sitting watching the video. You could be doing some stretches. You could be doing some crunches, maybe some squats. Just something that'll get your blood going. Something that'll keep your ticker ticking, my friends on the farm. It's so important. Start with 10. Let's start with 10 minutes a day. If you're gonna walk, walk. If you're not gonna walk, if you're gonna be at home, sit and stretch. Do some yoga poses, some Pilates poses, but just get your body to the point where it's doing something physical. Get more sex too. Burns 5 calories a minute. Okay, let's see. Next question. Why is melatonin not suggested for people with, okay, so melatonin is a hormone, and people with autoimmune disorders already have their immune system is already kind of like ratcheted up. So their immune system is already working in overdrive where it tends to attack different areas in the body. For an example, When I was pregnant with our first son, I had discoid lupus and my ANA levels were going up. That's an autoimmune issue, and it was attacking areas on my skin. So I was getting these big areas of hyperpigmentation all over my torso. That's an autoimmune issue. So someone like me, I should not take, if I'm having high ANA levels, autonucleic antibody, I think. Oh gosh, I gotta check on that. I'll post that later on my Facebook page so I can make sure. Autonucleic antibodies. So I shouldn't take melatonin because it's a hormone and it can make my condition worse. So people like rheumatoid arthritis, MS, you shouldn't take any kind of hormone unless of course prescribed. If it's a medication for that disorder, that disease, then you can take it. But melatonin is contraindicated for people who have autoimmune disease just because the immune system is already ratcheted up and it's a hormone. Great question, Jetta. What is the stare challenge? Hey Tasha, how's it going? What is the stare challenge? I don't know. You tell me. What's the stare challenge? A stare challenge for me is instead of taking elevators, instead of taking escalators, take the stairs everywhere you go. But the issue with the stare challenge, if that's what the stare challenge is, what if you work on the first floor? What if you don't ever have to take the escalator or elevator anywhere? But stairs are so good. They're good for your legs. They're good to increase your heart rate, to get in a good way, to get your ticker ticking. So if you work on the 10th floor, take the stairs up, take the stairs down. That's a great way to burn calories without, meaning to, without being intentional about it, because exercise is hard. It's hard to exercise every day. I mean, sometimes, when we wake up after you say your affirmations, if exercise is a time that you plan, or, if you're used to journaling first thing in the morning, maybe you want to get some journaling in. But exercise, it's hard to do just because we don't prioritize. And I talked about the success habits, the people that it's 75% of the most successful, meaning wealth people, they have some type of physical activity, some type of physical regimen where they're exercising more. And obviously there are many overweight and obese people in this world that are very successful as far as monetarily wise, but that the more weight you put on, the less energy you have. The more weight you put on, the less active you can be. Maybe you want to run around with your kid and you can't do that because you have more weight. You could do that and burn that weight off, of course, and that's a great way. That's what I like to do. My goodness, my kids, they're very, very active. And so for me to just get them sometimes to go to sleep on time, I gotta run around the block with them. And I do that. It's like, okay, I do it for me to get them in bed and so I can exercise. So it's like, it's a win-win, but exercise is critical. So the stairs thing, if you work on the 10th floor, take the stairs. Forego the elevator, forego the escalator. But I mean, it's been 90 every day here. I don't know what kind of weather we're having in Michigan. And that's the reason why I got this, this little sewing. I was trying to exercise and my hair was an afro puff. It's still an afro puff on the edges, but it's helping. I mean, do what you got to do as far as hair. I mean, Black women, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do about our hair. Some of us, we can work it out. We got natural hairstyles. It's awesome. It looks great, but we can't let that stop us from living our best life. Thanks for the question. Thanks, Juliet. Let's see. I think we are done. All right, my friends on the farm. Until tomorrow, self-love yourself. What is more important than you? Thank you.